This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Every once in a while, a question gets asked by a member of Congress during a committee that reverberates. It resonates with the American people. It is poignant. It is important. It is one that you ask yourself, why has this not been stated this way before? Why has this question not been asked in this way prior? Yesterday, this was the case with a question Eric Swalwell raised in a committee hearing about gun violence. And what we're going to do as a society, what they're going to do as leaders, as legislators, to attempt to lessen the impact of the carnage of gun violence in America. I said a couple of weeks ago that more children, it's a point that was repeated yesterday by Joe Biden in his speech, more children last year died at the end of a barrel of a gun than police. Only like 62 cops died by gunfire last year. 62 too many, but 62. And there were like 16 or 1,700 kids who died by gunfire. Eric Swalwell asked this question. Are you here for the kids or are you here for the killers? To his colleagues, to his Republican colleagues, this recalcitrant group of individuals who don't care about dead kids, piles of dead kids. And that might seem heartless. It might seem hyperbolic, but it is, if they cared, wouldn't they do everything in their power to stop the madness? And they do nothing. So it seems logic would follow that they don't care. Anyway, I'm going to play a couple of clips here. 3 clips, in fact. Eric Swalwell and his remarks, brief, very brief, not all of his remarks, but the part that is really, I think, impactful. And then Louie Gohmert, maybe the dumbest member of Congress who, I don't know, but seems, is he drunk? Is he, I'm just asking questions. Seems a little off his game. We'll just say that. Followed by a clip by Gay Scanlon, who represents one of the municipalities that Louie Gohmert is attacking. First, let's start with Eric Swalwell. We'll talk about his comments on the other side.
19 kids are dead. 19 children are dead. And so to my Republican colleagues, I ask, who are you here for? Are you here for our kids or are you here for the killers? Because if you were here for the kids, you would do all you could to protect the next school shooting that's about to happen. And we know what's going to happen in America. You would vote to raise the age on purchasing an assault rifle. You would vote to ban high-capacity magazines. You would vote to require safe storage. And you would vote to address ghost guns, which are ravaging communities across America. But if you're here for the killers, you would do everything to make it easier for the next school shooting to happen. And Mr. Jordan, to say we are trying to dramatically change the country, if trying to make sure that no more kids are put in the ground with a Superman coffin means dramatically change the country, guilty. That's why we're here. Kids are going in the ground today, and you call that trying to dramatically change the country. Why aren't you trying to dramatically change the number of dead kids going into the ground, Mr. Jordan? Who are you here for, the kids or the killers?
Are you here for the kids or are you here for the killers? Because if you were here for the kids, you would do anything in your power to try to stop the next mass shooting that is invariably going to happen in America. Maybe this next week. It's a great question. Laying out the logic behind that reasoning, behind that question. Giving the reasons. These are the things you would do if you were here for the kids. Instead, the Republican Party is so dedicated to the prospect of the rights of gun owners that they're even protecting the rights of gun owners who are using those guns to murder people. That's what's most important. I mean, let's be honest, what's most important is Republicans raking in hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in donations from the gun lobby and the NRA, which has figurative blood, or literal blood on its figurative hands. And here's Louie Gohmert. Again, if you don't know who Louie Gohmert is, count yourself among the lucky. Louie Gohmert, next to Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, he might even be dumber than them. It is shocking to me that this man used to be a judge, sitting in judgment over people and their cases. Doesn't know the difference between the word imply and infer. You'll hear it. He is colossally, record-breakingly stupid, feigning outrage with his bloodshot eyes. Again, I'm not saying he's drunk on the job. He's just not on top of his game. Watch this.
I don't think that it's very effective for the children to have people on the other side of the aisle come in and accuse Republicans of being complicit in murder, and that we put our right to kill over others' right to live, to infer by rhetorical supposed questions, who are you here for? We must be here for the gunman, is an outrage. How dare you? You think we don't have hearts? It's just that when we look at the things that you're doing and you're trying to do to America, we've seen the carnage. I mean, for heaven's sake, let's take example. Democrats control the major cities that have the worst murder rates. That's right. Your ideas have been shown to get people killed. Are you here for the murderers in Chicago, in Philadelphia, in these other major cities, because you're wanting to do nationally what is being done by Democrats in those big cities? We care about people. We care about their lives. And lives have been so trivialized. We care deeply. How dare you? How dare you?
You think we don't have hearts? And doesn't explain exactly why they do have hearts. Not an argument, Louie. Are you there for the kids, or are you there for the killers? You didn't answer the question. You just jingled a shiny object like keys at a baby, hoping that we wouldn't pay attention. Unluckily for you, we are paying attention. This was followed immediately by Mary Gay Scanlon, a representative for Pennsylvania. I think she does represent the Philadelphia area, who gave this little fact check in real time to Louie Gohmert.
I do want to respond first to Mr. Gohmert, and I'm sorry that he and many of his colleagues didn't think it was important enough to be here today. But I did want to respond to his allegation that Philadelphia's homicide rate is... No, I will not. I will not yield.
I couldn't get there while my plane...
The gentlelady does not yield.
Is mine.
The gentlelady does not yield. The time is hers.
I waited for hours.
The gentlelady does not yield.
I wanted to respond to Mr. Gohmert's allegation that Philadelphia's homicide rate is the fault of Democratic leadership in that city. Apparently, he doesn't understand that the Commonwealth's Republican legislature for decades has blocked city leadership from passing the types of common sense gun safety laws we are considering today. So to the broader question, like most Americans, I am sickened and sick to death of the gun carnage we experience in this country every single day.
You see, this is a tactic of Republicans. They say something that on its face may seem to the uninitiated, the uneducated, the uninformed to be logical. As though mayors of cities control the policy for the entire state or even region. In the case of, like, let's say, Chicago, where there's an influx of guns that come over the border, which is right there with Indiana. It's not as easy as a quick fix. Because of the system of government our founders created, you have 50 disparate states that create their own policies that all affect, because of reciprocity from one level or another state, the bordering state, or states all the way across the country. They're trying to confuse the issue in order that nothing gets done, in order that they can continue to spend that money, that blood money, that gun money. What do you think? I would love to know what your opinions are about this. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate your engagement. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Take part in what we're doing here. You can mix it up in the comments. Obviously, you can leave me a voicemail or email like I just talked about. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and mix it up there. I am at Dollemore, just about everywhere. If you appreciate what I do and you want to go the next step further, you can buy some merch. I've got these, I'm attending the March on Washington, the Poor People and Low-Wage Workers March on Washington here, coming up in the middle of June, and I had some shirts printed in support of that. Fight poverty, not the poor, and poverty is a public policy choice. Both of those are great ways to support the channel. You can also become a channel member. Click the join button below. And for as little as $1.99 a month, you can become a channel member and help support and produce what I do here. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast and become a patron, supporting my efforts here and obviously also on the podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you appreciate this type of content, these types of things that we need to be talking about in order that we make our country a better place. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.